Has there ever been a time in your life where you have felt like you are working harder than ever, yet what it is that you wanted in your business plan seems so far out of reach? You're showing up every day, you feel like you're putting in the right amount of hours, yet those goals remain out of reach. I know that that's frustrating, but here's something important to remember: that your success is not random, it is not luck, and it is not chance. It is intentional. So if you've been feeling stuck, today is the day where we are going to talk through some things in hopes that we change the way that you think. Hi, I'm Shayla Deem, and stick around with me today because I'm going to share with you the 5 reasons why agents underperform, which is going to give you some insight in helping you identify the gaps of your own business. By the end of this video, you are going to walk away with a very clear understanding of what it is that is holding you back, but most importantly, you are going to transform your approach and reach new levels of success in your real estate business. Let's start first with motivation, because without a very clear vision, it is so easy to lose drive. Successful agents, they don't just work hard, they understand why they're working hard. It's not just about the closing of the deals or making more money. It's going to be about what that money is going to do and what that success is going to enable in their lives. So I want you to ask yourself, what is your vision for your business and for your life? What is it that you are working towards each and every day? It's when you lose sight of that vision, what you're working towards, what you're working for, that your motivation is going to fade quickly if you lose that sight. Here's a thought. If you're struggling with motivation, it is likely because your vision is not clear, or perhaps you haven't revisited it recently. Your vision is something that should inspire you daily. It's not something that you grab a hold of and you look at on occasion. It's not something that you look at once a year or maybe even twice a year. It is something that you live by. If you have not already taken time to write down your vision, I want you to promise yourself today that you're going to think about where it is that you want your business and your life to be in 1 year, in 5 years. Heck, you could even go to where you break it down, what do I want in the next 6 months? Because all of these things are going to be the foundation for your business plan. You need to remember that without a vision, you are just going through the motion. You're accepting what life gives you. And at the end of your life, you are undoubtedly going to ask yourself one of 2 questions. I'm glad I did, or I wish I had. Your goal in this life should be to live it with intention so that you can live abundantly, not react and not respond to the loudest of noises. Be intentional each and every day. Next up, we're going to talk about direction, because you can't reach your destination without a roadmap. Agents who underperform often lack a very clear plan. They find themselves reacting to whatever the day throws at them. They get pulled in different directions and they're focused on activities that aren't actually moving the needle. Are they keeping them busy? Absolutely, but they're not moving the needle. So in contrast, successful agents have a well-defined plan that aligns with their vision that we talked about earlier. They know exactly what needs to be done in terms of time, resources, and money. They structure their business around that plan. They track it, they get evaluated, they get consulted, and they refine this continuously. Nothing in this plan or in their life is left to chance. So where do you need to be in the next 6 months? Take some time to break it down step by step, because a solid plan gives you control over your business instead of your business controlling you. So ask yourself, are you leading your business or is your business leading you? Now let's talk about ability, because you can have all the motivation and direction in the world, but without the right skills, you are going to hit a wall every time. Skills like negotiations, marketing, communication, these shouldn't be just, oh, that's nice to have. These should be non-negotiable for your success. Now, the good news, skills, that's something that can be learned. The most successful agents are always in a state of growth and learning. They do not settle or get complacent. So I want you to take a moment to assess, where is it in your business and your life that you need to improve? What skills can you develop that are going to elevate your business? Now, whether it's enhancing your negotiation tactics or refining your marketing strategies, make a commitment to invest in yourself, because when you grow, your business grows with you. But don't be a reactionary learner. You should be growing in the areas that you have defined in the consulting room. If your complete business plan is done properly, that is going to have development in your plan. You're going to know exactly what it is that you need to do and why you need to do it. Otherwise, you're just watching random things, looking to be entertained or looking for something new, and you think that it's a necessary next step for you to add to your business. But you really need to go back and make sure that you are mastering the basics. You need to stop adding things in a reactionary way, because if you continue down that path, the next thing you know is you're going to be so far off that original path that you intended, because you've stopped doing the basics, or you have been random and reactionary on the things that you're adding to your business. There are so many distractions these days. It's not that there is going to be, there is so many distractions these days. So you need to be intentional. You need to be intentional with your time. You need to block out the areas of growth. When you identify them and you block out the areas for growth, then you are intentionally seeking the proper development. Now let's move on to focus, because discipline is the difference between agents who succeed and those who don't. It's easy to get distracted by emails, social media, client emergencies, but the real progress comes from a very disciplined focus on what matters most. So here's something that I want you to consider. Don't just block your time for your business, block your time for your life. Because if we think of, instead of saying, it's my calendar, what if we started saying, I need to update my life schedule? Because that's what your calendar really is. Look at a clock. Every second, every minute of your life, you can either choose to spend it and be random and reactionary about your time and what you do, or you can invest in it intentionally. You know where you want to go, why you want to go, you know what needs to be done, and you're going to block that out to ensure that everything gets completed. Now, discipline creates consistency, and consistency leads to results. So take control of your life schedule and make sure that every minute is moving you towards your personal and professional goals. You should be able to pull out your calendar, or shall I say your life schedule, and see that your life is mapped out. My family, they make it on my calendar. But when I'm at work, I'm at work. And my time block, I even know the activities that I'm doing inside of those blocks, the vital activities that are assigned to that block. So sure, there's days where I get off track, and yes, this is not without deliberate thought and choice on what truly is on fire, but sometimes I even schedule an alarm on my Alexa. I don't want her to answer, but sometimes even set an alarm because I want to make sure that I'm staying consistent throughout the day and remaining disciplined to that life schedule. So many of you got into this business for the flexibility. And yes, that is probably the one thing that causes us to behave like college freshmen and randomly show up. We use excuses for not attending important business trainings, team meetings, and sometimes even things for our family because we've had other things that appear to be on fire or more important because we're not really sure what to do because it's not blocked out. But I want you to know that it doesn't have to be this way. You should be able to choose what you react to. You should be able to choose what is necessary and what is not necessary. I have seen the burnout firsthand, and that is where you're headed. Lastly, let's talk about support. Here's the truth that you need to hear. You and I, we're not meant to do life alone. We're not meant to do business alone. And I know real estate can feel very isolating if you do not have a strong community around you. Without support, it is so easy to get stuck or overwhelmed. That's why having a network, whether it's your brokerage, whether it's a mastermind group, or even a peer mentor, this is essential. So don't hide behind this computer or phone screen. Get into the office and start having conversations with others. Chances are someone else has faced the same challenge that you're going through right now. You have to remember, we are so much better together. Surround yourself with the right people, and you are going to find support, accountability, and the inspiration that you need to keep moving forward. So let's recap the 5 reasons agents underperform, shall we? Number 1, motivation. If you are lacking it, you are actually lacking a very true and meaningful vision for your life. If you do not have one, make a commitment to yourself today that you are going to write one down, that you are going to go through the exercise to identify it. Or reach out to me. I am happy to hop on a call with you and talk about the process, because this is very simple yet profound. Number 2, direction. Lacking direction is really not having a plan for what it is you need to do. Think of it this way. Where you are is going to be point A, and where you want to go is going to be point B. Now, how are you going to get from point A to point B? You need to identify those action steps out. Number 3, ability. What areas of your business do you struggle with the most? What is it that you would love to master? And what is the one thing that most needs to change in your business? Those are some key questions you could be asking yourself in regard to identifying your areas for growth. Because if you want more, you cannot remain the same. Now, number 4, focus. It's really a lack of discipline, and I know that's so hard to hear, but you should have a life schedule that is so defined that you can look at it and you can see exactly how you're spending your life. Lastly, number 5, support. Are you in a community or are you isolated? This honestly should be a very easy one to fix. Now, my friends, it is time for you to take action. Let me know in the comments which part of your success plan that you're going to focus on and what your next step is. And always remember that your success is not random. It is an intentional process, and it is within your reach. See you next time.